Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and I'm very excited to talk about New Order's Technique from 1989. Just look at that album cover. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite album covers. And thankfully, the album itself is also really cool. It's kind of dance rock mixed with acid house. It's a very unique sound. It's mostly excellent. I will say one thing though, which at times it does sound kind of dated, but nothing too crazy, nothing terrible. But I do really like this album, so I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. So let's dive in with track number 1, which is called Fine Time. Yeah, I am in this guy's shoes in my own life, unfortunately, right? I'm in my mid-30s, I'm 35, but sometimes, now and then, I'll meet a girl who's maybe 22 or something, and, we get along. We have a lot of chemistry. We're into the same things, and she's really fun to talk to, and we get along well and stuff like that. But we're so far apart age-wise that I can't shake it. I can't help but think, I can't date somebody who's 13 years younger than me. That's just, maybe it's a me problem, but I just can't do it. So it's just really unfortunate if you consider the fact that finding anybody who you have amazing chemistry with is already extremely hard, extremely rare. At least it is for me. I almost never have good chemistry, even with my friends, right? It's something that, unfortunately, I took for granted in a couple past relationships where we had amazing chemistry, and I just kind of assumed, that finding someone else who I also had great chemistry with wouldn't be that hard. But believe me, it's very hard. There's no way to know until you ask people out or you form a friendship, and you just kind of hope you guys are like this. So anyway, I can identify with this guy in this song. He's found some really cool, cute girl who's unfortunately way too young for this guy, and he can't get past it. So anyway, that's Fine Time. It's a really unique kind of sound. I mean, this whole album is just a really special album. New Order pretty much pioneered this sound, so you got to give him credit. But anyway, so let's move along to probably my favorite track on the album, which is track 2. It's called All the Way. Such an amazing song. Just the hooks and melodies on this track are out of this world good. And again, I can identify with this guy because, he's trying very hard to not be who he was. And what I mean by that is, yes, maybe he did something that he regrets, but he's not going to let it completely consume his life mentally and emotionally, right? He's not going to be that guy who did that thing that everyone remembers, right? He's going to forge ahead. He's going to, probably learn from his experience, learn from his mistakes, and he's not going to let his past dictate who he is for the rest of his life, right? I mean, I struggle with that. There are things that I've done that really stick with me that I think about sometimes late at night, and I feel really bad that I did certain things, And it can be difficult to realize that you aren't your past, you are who you are right now. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't grow and that you can't become better, that you can't change for the best. That's what this song makes me think about, right? Don't let the past dictate the rest of your life, in other words. So I can dig it. But anyway, let's move along to track 3, which is my second favorite song. It's called Love Less.
There was a time I called before, when all I knew was what I saw. The keeper of a major key. I lived in a town called Liberty. I work hard to give you all the things that you need, and almost anything that you see. I spent a lifetime working on you, and you won't even talk to me. Can't you see? Why don't you look at me? It's not your right to be so much my enemy.
Yeah, the singing on this album is just really phenomenal. It's very human. It's very lovely, and especially on this track where I don't think of it as a boyfriend-girlfriend type thing. I think of it as a father and his son or daughter, where basically he's given his entire life to supporting his child, to making sure that he can experience as many things as possible, that he can, have everything he wants, so to speak. But for whatever reason, his son just doesn't like his dad. He's just kind of a jerk. He's turned out to be not a good person, It's really weird how that works out, where sometimes, for instance, you'll have a mother and a father who are really sweet, they're very kind, they're very loving, but for whatever reason, their son or daughter is just a complete asshole. I've experienced this several times in my life where, I meet somebody whose parents are really wonderful and really kind, and they work very hard to provide for their family, but their kids are just awful people. And you're just like, what the heck happened exactly? Where did they learn that from? They didn't learn it from the parents. So geez Louise, what happened? So this poor guy in this song, this poor father, it sounds like he really wants his son to love him back and to, be someone that he can talk to and that he can, help out with life wisdom and experience and things like that. He wants to be able to talk to his son and have a good relationship with him. But for whatever reason, his son is just completely a jerk, is what it sounds like. So this poor guy, hopefully that doesn't happen to me with my own kids. But anyway, so let's move along to track number 6 this time, which is called Run.
Answer me. Why won't you answer me? I can't recall the day that I last heard from you. Well, you don't get a time like this for nothing, so here's what you got to do. You work your way to the top of the world, then you break your life in two. use in complaining when you've got what you don't need? Anyone would make you a hot dog too. What do you want me to believe? What the hell is happening? I can't think of everything. I don't know what day it is or who I'm talking to, but I know that I'm okay, 'cause you're here with me today. I haven't got a single problem now that I'm with you. So what's the use in complaining when you've got everything you need?
Yeah, the price of success, basically, right? This guy, it sounds like he works really, really hard. He loves his wife, but he's constantly doing business. He's constantly at work. He's a workaholic. He's making a ton of money, and he's buying her things that she doesn't really need, right? It's kind of his way of showing how much he loves her. But it sounds like she wants him. She wants him to be around. She doesn't want a bunch of stuff. She doesn't want a nice house and a cool car and fancy clothes. She wants to be with him, but he's just too much of a workaholic. He's too obsessed with providing for his family. You know, in his mind, he thinks he's doing the right thing, right? He thinks like, well, hey, I'm making sure our family is going to be set up for generations. So I don't exactly know what the problem is here. But really, you know, there's a fine balance between making enough and not being there for your loved ones. So it sounds like this poor guy, you know, he feels like he's in this really unfair situation where, as far as he's concerned, he's doing everything he can to be a provider, but it's not enough for his family. His family wants him. They don't want his money. They don't want his success. They want him. Which is, I mean, it's a kind of a no-win situation, right? Because basically, maybe this guy really loves what he's doing, right? Maybe he really loves whatever his job is, and his family's asking him to stop doing what he loves so that he can be around more. You know, is that fair? Is that a fair compromise? I don't know. Let's debate that, right? Like, for example, maybe this guy is a musician and he's really famous and he's in the band New Order, and so he's touring all the time and he's recording all the time and he's making a bunch of money. He's doing what he loves, but because he's doing what he loves, he's never around for his family. You know, what do you do in that situation? Do you stop touring? Do you call it quits? I mean, it's not really fair either way. So anyway, this poor guy, he's in a predicament. I feel for him. But anyway, let's move along to track number 7, which is called Mr. Disco.
Forget you, you don't know just what I've been through the holiday we spent together lives with me now and forever. I tried but I can't find you. Tell me now, what do I do? I tried but I can't find you. Tell me now, what do I do? I can't find my peace of mind because I need you with me all of the time. I used to think about you night and day. I used to feel, what language can I say? Oh, I can't find you. No, I can't find my peace of mind without you.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. You know, it sounds like this guy and this girl had a brief time together, and the guy really loved it. He was really into her. But from the way things worked out, she left town or whatever and pursued whatever she was pursuing. But what interests me is it sounds like she was never really even remotely as into it as he was. So according to this guy, if he were to finally reunite with this person, they would be together and they would love each other and have a family and have kids and stuff. But it sounds like the woman, she had an okay time. Like it was all right, It wasn't amazing, it wasn't bad, it was just kind of fine. But they didn't have enough time together for her to really express her real feelings about it. So it sounds like this guy has this false hope, really, where if he reunites with her, they'll finally, have this life together. But really, she doesn't. Sounds like she's not really that into it. So this poor guy, he doesn't realize that he's dreaming about something that'll never actually happen. So he needs to move on. He needs to find a way to forget about her. But anyway, so that's Mr. Disco. Let's move along to track 8, which is called Vanishing Point.
Grow up, children, don't you suffer at the hands of one another. It'd be like a sleeping demon. Listen, can you hear him weeping? Tears of joy and tears of sorrow. He buys love to sell tomorrow. My life ain't no holiday. I've been through the point of no return. I've seen what a man can do. I've seen all the hate of a woman too.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a very sad song. It's basically about child abuse, right? This guy's parents were probably emotionally, verbally, and physically abusive throughout his childhood. And it's very, very sad. But I would say there is an upside to it. That might sound surprising, but I do believe there's an upside to it. So this person learned at a very early age to not be naive, right? To understand that there are horrible people in the world, that they can't really rely 100% on anyone else, that if they really want to get ahead in life, then they have to do it themselves, right? They've learned about the evil in the world, about the bad in the world at a very early age, so they're prepared for it, right? Somebody like me who had amazing parents, they're very kind, very lovely, it took me a really long time to learn that there are jerks in the world, there are bad people, right? And you have to learn how to confront that, in an appropriate manner, right? It took me way too long to figure out how to deal with nasty people, emotionally, verbally abusive people, because if you spent most of your life hanging around good people, you just kind of assume everybody's good-natured, when in reality, a lot of people out there, they're mean-spirited and they have hidden agendas and things like that. So while this is a very sad song in the sense of it being about, child abuse, on the other hand, the one upside to it is this child is now more ready than most other children are for the reality of human nature, let's say. So it's a very interesting song. I appreciate what he's talking about here. But let's move along to my final clip on the album from track 9. It's called Dream Attack.
Nothing in this world can touch the music that I heard when I woke up this morning. It put the sun into my life. It cut my heartbeat with a knife. It was like no other morning. sense in you leaving. All I need is your love to believe in.
Yeah, I mean, the song is basically about a guy who's not willing to grow up, right? He wants to be independent and he wants to be able to do anything he wants. But at the same time, he wants the benefit of having a cool girlfriend that he gets to hang out with and kiss and have sex with and all that kind of stuff. But he's not willing to do things like marry her or have kids with her, right? And especially the kids thing, where basically, you know, once you have kids, your life is totally different. It's never the same. And it's just such a monumental shift in your lifestyle that it, on some level, ruins your life in the sense that you can't do anything you want to do anymore because you've got kids that you got to worry about. So this guy, he's just not ready to grow up. He wants all of the benefits with none of the drawbacks. And, you know, good luck. You might be able to date a girl for like a year and then she'll finally realize he's just not going to be long term. So anyway, this guy needs to just grow up. But anyway, so that's the last track I want to talk about. Again, this is a really unique sounding album. It's really cool. A lot of great inspired moments. You know, all the Way and Loveless especially are just amazing songs in my opinion. And of course you got that killer album cover. My goodness. But anyway, I hope that you thought it was interesting. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. But yeah, that is Technique by New Order. Check it out and have a good one.